Jai We'll start with the Pranavishra.
Okay. Breaker of this world's chain, we adore thee, whom all men love. Spotless, taking man's form, O purifier. Thou art above the gunas three. Knowledge divine, not flesh. Thou whom the cosmos wears, a diamond at its heart. Let us look deep in thine eyes. They are bright with the wisdom of God, that can wake us from Maya's spell. Let us hold fast to thy feet, treading the waves of the world to safety. O drunk with love, God drunken lover, in thee all paths of all yogas meet. Lord of the worlds, thou art ours, who wert born a child of our time, easy of access to us. O merciful, if we take any hold upon God in our prayer, it is by thy grace alone, since all thine austerities were practiced for our sake. How great was thy sacrifice, freely choosing thy birth in this prison, our iron age, to unchain us and set us free. Perfect, whom lust could not taint, nor passion nor gold draw near. O Master of all who renounce, fill our hearts full of love for thee. Thou hast finished with fear and with doubt, standing firm in the vision of God, refuge to all who have cast fame, fortune, and friends away. Without question thou shelterest us, and the world's great sea in its wrath seems shrunk to the puddle that fills the hoofprint in the clay. Speech cannot hold thee, nor mind, yet without thee we think not, nor speak. Love, who art partial to none, we are equal before thy sight. Taker away of our pain, we salute thee, though we are blind. Come to the heart's black cave, and illumine, thou light of the light.
Sakara forgot today is Ramakrishna Swami's birthday. So,
No, I'll be there.
we need a light.
How does one do this?
But it's not going to shine.
That will do. That will
The
do.
job is good. This thing just not be enough. But where is it?
That's one light you can bring it for spur.
Check it out, see.
Other light,
Look, what's the cable?
other light you can give. You need some that. Certain.
This is supposed to be streamed. If you want to stream it, I have to turn on something.
Streaming down the can.
Okay, so we're not.
Speaker. Just turn on that speaker. I'll turn on this.
Yeah, we are only few people, nothing is necessary. Just stop.
Okay.
One glass should be- no, stop.
Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Today is a very auspicious day. This is the birth tithi of Swami Ramakrishnanandaji Maharaj, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, and about whom Swami Vivekananda, when he was questioned from many angles from the scriptures, and there were some argumentative Pandits always questioning, then Swamiji said yes, they requested one center should be started there, and Swamiji just pacified them and said, yes, we will have a center and I shall send a Swami here to take over that center, who will be more scholarly than any one of you, and who will be more ritualistic than anyone present here, because there's some Madrasi people very conservative. So keeping Swami Ramakrishnanandaji in his mind, Swami Vivekananda said this in 1897 when he came back from the West. Swami Ramakrishnanandaji's pre-monastic name is Shashi Bhushan Chakraborty. His father was Pandit Ishwar Chandra Chakraborty. He was a tantric sadhaka and a very scholarly man and a real sadhaka. And he was the first, our Tantra Dharaka in Durga Puja, first Durga Puja in Belur Math, this father of Swami Ramakrishnanandaji Maharaj. And his mother also was a very pious lady, very guileless. Her name was Bhavasundari Devi. And father also was the Sabha Pandit, the chief Pandit in the assembly of the Raja of Paikpara, Indonarayan Singha. And he was one of the cousin brothers of Swami Sharadananda. And about these two brothers, Master predicted earlier, seeing them, that this Shashi and Sharad, I had vision that I have found them in the group of Jesus Christ. So that was his spiritual background. With that, he was born in 1863, same year when Swami Vivekananda also was born. Only a few months later, 13 July, it was a Monday, Ashara Krishna Trayodroshi, the 13th lunar day before the new moon. And he was educated. He got his education from the FA first arts. He passed from the Albert College, and then he completed his Bachelor of Arts from Metropolitan College, Kolkata. And he was very adept and expert in Sanskrit and mathematics. And he was employed as the private tutor of the son of Keshav Chandra Sen, the famous Brahmo leader. So he was, and also when Birajananda Ji Maharaj said, was just coming to the mott, mixing with the Swamis, then said, yes, come once, you do not understand mathematics properly, come to the mott, stay here, and I will teach you mathematics. Never you will forget that mathematics, that will help you. Birajananda Ji Maharaj later days said that yes, I went with the mathematic books, but actually joined there and could not prosecute and with the studies. Swami Ramakrishnananda Ji first was informed about Sri Ramakrishna's highly spiritual background and his visions and realizations by none other than Keshav Chandra Sen. Because in those days, Keshav Chandra Sen himself used to pay visit to Sri Ramakrishna, to Dakshineshwar, and he wrote in his magazines highly about the spiritual experiences of Sri Ramakrishna and said, I don't think that there is anybody like Sri Ramakrishna in this present day world who can be compared with Sri Ramakrishna from spiritual experiences, that point of view. And Shashi Bhushan and Sharadananda, Sharat, and some other friends who used to visit Brahmo Samaj and were very close to Keshav Chandra Sen were thinking at that time, if Keshav Chandra Sen, whom we respect so much, and he is such a scholarly man and such a saintly man, he himself goes to Sri Ramakrishna and says Sri Ramakrishna, about Sri Ramakrishna so high, so let us go ourselves and see. So one day, Shashi with some of his friends, they came, met Sri Ramakrishna, and on the very first day, he fell in love with Sri Ramakrishna, because Sri Ramakrishna also showed special love and affection to Sharat and Shashi and asked, come one day alone. So, spiritual life cannot be always direction, instruction given in presence of others. Individually, Sri Ramakrishna used to handle the seekers of the truth. So, Shashi also was very much impressed, and now he became a regular visitor there, and Sri Ramakrishna also was taking care and training him. And Shashi, before coming to Sri Ramakrishna, wanted to know what is there in the scriptures, in bhakti, in devotion about God. So, he heard from some people that Sufi sadhakas, they had treasure of spiritual experiences, and so he started learning Persian, because those Sufi verses were in Persian language. And one day when Dakshineshwari was coming, but meeting with Sri Ramakrishna, doing some seva, and then in a corner sitting and starting reading those Sufi books. Then Sri Ramakrishna called him. Shashi, first time he was so absorbed in the studies, second time, third time. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, and he said, yes, what are you doing? Where is your mind? I was reading what? This Persian, all these things, language and all those things in Persian. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, what you are searching for, that is your chosen deity is here, here and here. 3 times he showed. And Shoshi also had ecstatic understanding that yes, who I am trying to seek, realize the truth, it is there in Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Ramakrishna. So he also became more and more devoted to Sri Ramakrishna, very close. And we find that after passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, when these people, young boys who gathered around Sri Ramakrishna and took the vow to live a life of renunciation, monastic vow they took, and Swami Vivekananda wanted to take the monastic name, sannyas name, Ramakrishnananda himself. But when he found that Shoshi's love for Sri Ramakrishna was so deep and unquestionable, so he sacrificed his desire that I will take up the name Ramakrishnananda. He gave it to Shoshi and said, yes, your love and devotion for Master is so great, so it is better you take that. And Shoshi Maharaj also, it was he who actually introduced our ritualistic puja, what we do in our centers. It was started by Shoshi Maharaj himself. And Shoshi Maharaj, when others were busy after passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, they were doing their tapasya, spiritual austerities in Baranagar Math. Then it was Shoshi Maharaj who would go and purchase or beg some alms, some rice, some ghee, this clarified butter and some vegetable, whatever it was possible in those days. They were doing so much of tapasya and austerities that even ghosts will leave the place. It was so terrific. Nobody will be able to withstand that. From the morning to the evening, there was no food, they were doing japa, meditation, and almost having nothing. And their monastery also used to be called Bhuter Bari, the house of the ghost, this ghost house. That was very cheap also to pay the rent. So, Shoshi Maharaj used to go out, and sadhus have the vow that sadhus will not take up any job against money. Sadhus, everything has given up, no money he will earn, and nothing, any knowledge he will give. Knowledge is so pure. Nahi ganena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyati. It cannot be sold to others. So, even if sadhus give some lecture and some other good thoughts, counseling, they won't take any fees, any paisa from any. But to serve Sri Ramakrishna and to give some kind of food to this brother disciple, Shoshi Maharaj's love for the brother disciples so deep that he accepted some private tuition in some houses, that I will come and do something, and with that some money, somehow he used to purchase, because all were completely busy in japa meditation. Nobody was bothering for whether food will come or not come. If Sri Ramakrishna sends something, it is okay. If not, that is also okay. They will not ask, they will not go out, and they will not take anything. It was Shoshi Maharaj himself who, all other brothers, Kali Tapasri, this Abhedanandaji, his name was Tapasri, means who does very severe spiritual austerities. Nobody will leave the place, either doing japa meditation or reading some scriptures. It was Shoshi Maharaj who would go to the shrine, will do puja to Master, and that urn was there with Sri Ramakrishna's ashes, this last remaining. He would do the puja, cook something, just a little boiled rice and some vegetables, and with that he would prepare something and go to one after another brother and force them and give some kind of this rice ball into their mouth, and those who will not get up, at least you take it and just sustain. This physical body needs some physical food to survive. So that was the contribution of Shoshi Maharaj. in the very beginning of the order. And when Swami Vivekananda came back, and all other brothers went to here and there, some kind of tapasya, sadhan, bhajan here and there, but Shashi Maharaj, 12 years, he did not leave. After Sri Ramakrishna's passing away in 1886, he won't go anywhere, because he does the puja, daily worship, very simple puja, but still he has to prepare something and offer something to Master, and then other brothers also all will take some kind of prasad. So Shashi Maharaj never left that place. And now after coming back from the West, Swami Vivekananda, the world famous Vivekananda, now requests from different corner to open up new centers. And Shashi Maharaj also, Swamiji, as I told, Swamiji promised that I will send somebody who is more orthodox than you Madras Brahmins and more scholarly than you people. I will send. So now he knows that Shashi Maharaj never left the mott. Will he agree to go live the Master's puja? And then one day he said, Shashi, my dear, yes. I said, you love me? I said, yes, I love. And I know if I ask something from you, you will do that. So Shashi Maharaj said, yes, you tell me what you want. I said, actually, I want to eat some kind of this pauruti, this bread. In those days, bread confection, it is this bakeries were mainly run by the Muslims, and it is called, it was known at that time that it was not mechanized, manually they will do, all this wheat and flour, they will take all these things and they would put water, and with leg, that is why its name is pauruti. Pauruti means with leg. It is so big amount that with hands you cannot manage and make this. So, and those things will be sold, and from a Muslim shop, and Ramakrishna. So will you bring that from that bakery confectionery? So Shashi Maharaj said, yes, you want. So Swamiji tested that. Now if I say something greater, he will accept. Then next day he said, my dear brother, Master's name in the south, they have requested me, and I have already given them word that I will send one of my brother disciples, and I was thinking of you. You will be the best man, most appropriate, befitting person to go there, and please go. Don't say no. Shashi Maharaj then agreed, and this is the first time that he was leaving the mott, and following Swami Vivekananda's request, went to the south, and it is said that all the centers, it was due to Shashi Maharaj's visit, and also Shashi Maharaj took Raja Maharaj, Holy Mother, and he started this Madras mott. Almost many days there was no food there also. One day in Madras mott there was nothing to offer to Thakur, and Shashi Maharaj was just standing in front of the Master's photograph, telling, oh, you are testing me, my power of forbearance. All right, today I will bring the sand from the beach. Beach was very near, Madras beach. So I will bring the sand grains, that I will offer to you, and then I will also eat that. Because Shashi Maharaj only will... The Shashi Maharaj just thought in that way and offering, complaining to Sri Ramakrishna, and immediately then he heard that somebody at the door was knocking. Who is there? Who is there? Please take it, and offer to Thakur, and found that sufficient things, vegetables, rice, this clarified butter, fruits, other things have come. And Shashi Maharaj was just thinking that, oh God, I was complaining to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna has sent it to us. It happened in Swamiji's life also. In Jesus Christ's life also it happened. When Jesus Christ was being crucifixed, and at that time it was so painful. He was just thinking, just for a fraction of a second perhaps, just thinking, oh God, oh my Father in heaven, what wrong have I done that you are punishing me in this way? What wrong have I done? And immediately Jesus Christ found that there was no pain, no suffering at all. And immediately he also thought, oh God, I was complaining that you are not with me, you are not taking care of me. So I had my doubt in my mind. So in Shashi Maharaj's case also we find that immediately he was very remorseful that, oh, I was complaining to Sri Ramakrishna that Sri Ramakrishna is not taking care of us. So this happened, and he used to take class and not a single person present there. Such things also happened there. Not on one occasion, but he would read from Bhagavata or some other scripture for 2 hours, and then he will come back. And this Brahmachari Shankaranandaji was attendant. He said, Maharaj, there was nobody. Why did not you close your class and come? Do you think that I read the scriptures for the devotees? I read for Master. Master was there, so I was reading for Master. So that was their dedication. And he started so many other activities also to spread the Masters. He himself started lecturing here and there and spreading the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna, writing books on Master's mission. And he was invited by the devotees of Rangoon Seva Samiti. He went there and lectured there also. And so many places in the south he visited that after wars, many centers came up, getting the inspiration from Swami Ramakrishna Maharaj. And he's one of the very great Seva is there. He brought their Raja Maharaj to the south, that with the presence of Raja Maharaj and Holy Mother, the soil of south will be sanctified and holy. So Raja Maharaj also was very happy that he made all elaborate arrangements so that Raja Maharaj did not have any problem. And in 1911, he arranged for the tour of Holy Mother, Sharada Devi. And Holy Mother, Sharada Devi went there, and for her, he was doing extra tapasya, some special work also, hard work he was doing, so that Holy Mother stay there, visiting Rameshwaram and other holy places could be nicely done. And he fell sick. After Holy Mother's visit was finished, she came back, and Maharaj also fell sick in 1911. And that place, I will read a little from the book of Swami Chaitanyanandaji Maharaj, that Holy Mother was very happy and was telling, you see, he has done everything for me. This Ramakrishna, the 108 billow leaves in golden billow leaves he prepared. You see, sadhu, where is the income? But whatever pranami and whatever he got, he saved it and kept it for Holy Mother's visit, so that Mother could do his pilgrimage nicely. And Holy Mother praised that, you see how much he did, Shashi, for that. So then, as I told, he was very sick. He suffered from by tuberculosis. And in those days there was no treatment. For a few days, sometime he spent in Bangalore Mott. Bangalore climate is very nice, very soothing, but there also nothing happened, no improvement of his health. Then he was brought back to Calcutta in 1911, and there is some this last day's description I read from Chaitanyanandaji's biography. One morning at 9 a.m., a couple of days before his passing away, the Swami was lying down with closed eyes. His attendant was silently seated nearby. All of a sudden, Ramakrishnananda got up and told the attendant, quote, "The Master, Mother and Swamiji have come. Please offer them an asana, prayer rag," unquote. The attendant was dumbfounded. Again the Swami repeated, "Can't you see? The Master has come. Spread the carpet and set 3 bolsters." unquote. The attendant followed his order. Ramakrishna, with folded hands, bowed down thrice and then watched something unseen without blinking. After a while he said, "They left. Now take away the carpet and bolsters." So he had the vision that before he gave up the body, Master, Mother, Swamiji all came to see him. Towards the end, Ramakrishna expressed a desire to see Holy Mother, who was then at Jairambati, her birthplace. Swami Dhirananda was sent to bring her, but she could not come, perhaps for two reasons. First, she knew that it would be unbearable for her to witness Ramakrishnananda's death. Second, there was not enough room in Udbodhan for her to stay. However, the Swami was blessed with a vision of Holy Mother on his last night of earthly life. Ramakrishnananda exclaimed, "Ah, Mother has come." Holy Mother did not come because there was no space in the Udbodhan house, Bagbajar, Mother's house, what we say, call this place. On the morning of his last day, Pulin Mitra, a famous singer and disciple of Brahmananda, came to see him. Ramakrishnananda expressed his vision in a Bengali line, "Pohalo dukha rajani, the night of misery is over," and asked Pulin to take it to Girish Chandra Ghosh, the great dramatist and disciple of the master, to compose a song. Girish recalled, and quote, "By the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, I completed the composition immediately." Pulin Mitra sang it before him. He was greatly moved and was satisfied with the composition. Here is a translation of the song composed by Girish Ghosh. This song was composed on the basis of the vision of Ramakrishnanandaji, who gave it to Girish Chandra Ghosh, and Girish Chandra Ghosh put it in poem, in song form, and the English translation is, "The night of misery is over. The terrible nightmare of ego is gone forever. The illusion of life and death is no more. Lo, the light of knowledge is dawning, and the Mother Divine is smiling. The Mother is bestowing the boon of fearlessness. Sing victory in a loud voice. Proclaim the conquest of death by blowing the trumpet. Let the name of the Mother vibrate all over the world." The Mother says, "Weep no more. Look at the feet of Ramakrishna. Then all worries will vanish, all pain will go. Son, look at my side. The Savior of the world is standing with his eyes full of grace and compassion." Unquote. So Pulin sang this song for a long time, and Ramakrishnananda listened with rapt attention. It seemed that the song gave him peace because it tallied with his vision. After this, he decided to hear another, a song on Samadhi composed by Swami Vivekananda. Pulin sang that also. Ramakrishnananda was in an ecstatic mood that whole morning. Dr. Jain Kanjilal checked him and found him in better condition. He drank a little sanctified water that had been offered to the Master, and for the last 3 hours of his life he was in Samadhi. At 1 p.m. he began to perspire. His face flushed, the hair of his body stood on end, and his gaze was fixed between his eyebrows. Swami Ramakrishnananda left his body while in Samadhi at 1:10 p.m. on Monday, 21st August 1911. The brother disciples and other monks began to chant the name of Sri Ramakrishna, and they observed that the hair on Ramakrishnananda's body remained erect for a long time. Later, his body was brought down from the first floor, and Sister Nivedita bowed down to the departed monk. He was decorated with flowers and garlands, and then was carried in a procession. The air was laden with the fragrance of flowers, perfume, and incense. A Sankirtana party, a group of singers, led the procession. It first stopped at the Kashipur Garden House, then at the Kashipur cremation ground, and crossing the Ganges, at last it reached Belur Math. Ramakrishnananda's body was cremated on the bank of the Ganges at the southeast corner of the Vivekananda temple. When the news of his death reached Holy Mother, she remarked with tearful eyes, and I quote, "Alas, so she is gone. My back is broken," unquote. After receiving the sad news at Puri, the grief-stricken Brahmananda exclaimed, "The guardian angel of the south has passed away. The southern side is, as it were, covered with darkness," unquote. The Hindu community of Madras convened a memorial meeting and paid their homage to Ramakrishnananda, who had sacrificed his life for their spiritual development for 14 years. Sister Devamata wrote, quote, "What Saint Paul declared in his epistle to the Galatians, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me," perfectly described Swami Ramakrishnananda's attitude towards himself and towards that one whom he called Guru. He was dead wholly to himself and alive only in Sri Ramakrishna. Om, peace, peace, peace. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.